they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down.
It's your man Gyasi X back with that positive energy. Eat that, swallow that, eat that somebody else. What up, peeps? Yeah, I'm here chilling outside with my stogie. About to give a little more wisdom. By the way, I'm shooting on my new Osmo 3. I haven't got the hang of it. It's the first day I'm using it. So I'll update you on how it goes. But what I want to talk to you guys about is that I follow philosophy and Stoic wisdom and, you know, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. I think I've told you this before, and my man Alan Watts. You know, I need to do more reading, but for the most part, I'm learning a lot. You know, I'm not into religion at all, so philosophy is my thing. So I listen to Alan Watts a lot. And he had this thing that says that we never really loved anyone. And I truly believe that. And talking about being in love. And he says we never really been in love with a person, which I always thought was true. What we're in love with is a thought of a person we want to create in someone else. And when we do that, when we create the love that we think are in a person, and you're infatuated and stuff like that, you're in bliss, and that person actually turns out to be someone else. That's who they really are. You created in your mind the person that you wanted them to be. And that's why you're never really in love with someone. So it's an image that you're in love with, you know, a phantom that you created. You can't do otherwise. It's not your fault. It's how the human mind operates. And understanding this, you can really understand how to deal with other human beings. You know, it's this is what actually happens. You encounter a human, and within moments, your mind begins its work. Start collecting data, you're making assessments, you're drawing conclusions. The way they smile, the tone of their voice, the way they move through space. And then something marvelous and terrible. Your mind takes all this information and constructs something. You build an image, a concept, a complete picture of who this person is. Now here's the curious part. From that moment forward, you're not really related to the person. You're relating to the construction, your mental photograph of that person. When you say you love them, man, what exactly are you loving? Is it the reality of this constant changing human being? You know, I've experienced this, you know, I've met basically most of the women that I've met, except for very few, that don't turn out to who, not for me more so, because I kind of understand a little more how a relationship goes, but what I'm telling you about is more so what I see in other people, that they don't actually love human beings. They get in love with the idea, the thought of who they want you to be, and you don't turn out to be that person. You know what happens during that process itself is that so it's a story they told themselves about you. We fall in love with our own thoughts. We fall in love with our own projection. So like I said, you can't get upset that the actors do not act the way that that person created them in their mind. And I tell people all the time that people can't hurt you. You know, people really can't hurt you. It's the thought that you have in your head that actually hurts you. You know, so we fall in love with, I used to say the representative, but that's a representative that you have created. For me, I am pretty neutral because I understand life, you know, I understand humans and I love humans. And that's what enables me to differentiate certain feelings. I don't get too caught up. And they tell me, oh, you don't love me. I do, you know, but, you know, the human mind is an image creating machine. We create images all through our life of what we want, you know, and what we expect. And I've learned a long time ago not to expect too much in life, especially from people, because when you do that, you end up being disappointed. So I don't expect anything from anybody. So if you see a tree, automatically the word tree comes into your mind. This is visualization, you know, but the word's not the thing. The concept of tree is not the actual thing in front of you. It's just a word, it's a concept. You know, we visualize reality, you know, we have to, it's the same thing with people. When you meet someone, the machinery begins. She's intelligent, she's charming, she reminds me of my mom, but she seems trustworthy, but it's not, you know, so many interpretations. And then when you build a whole entire cathedral about this creation of this person, the you that's making all these images and having an ego is also a construction, you know? So a long time ago, I learned to get rid of my ego. You know, I don't have an ego no more. I live my life one day at a time, a moment, you know? So when you have two images of yourself and someone else, you can form an image of both of you, you know, and this is the reason life becomes complicated. You know, because you have so many images inside your mind, and it doesn't come to fruition. Like, I had a friend, she told me, oh, you're in love with such and such. And I said, no. I said, I'm not in love with anyone. I love people. I love human beings. But that's the first thing women like to say is, you know, if you had another relationship with someone and you speak to them, they'll tell you, oh, you were in love, or you were in love with this person. And for me, it's not true. You know, I'm in love with my children. I'm in love with myself. Not, you know, to the point where, you know, I'm cocky or anything like that. It's just that I really care about myself. I really do love myself a lot. So for me, sorry, I guess I'm gonna have to edit this out. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. I gotta look at my phone for something. So we got ghosts trying to love ghosts. And people take it seriously. We suffer. We suffer over the constructions we have in our minds. You know, we build our entire lives around this freaking, and this thing. Sorry, I'm not. To really see, we have to see what is present, what is. And the attention that we have, it's alive to the moment. The projection is something else entirely. Projection is when you throw your past onto the present, when you impose your desires and wants onto another human being. It doesn't work, you know? You don't, like say you meet someone that they speak softly. You say, oh, this person speaks softly, they gotta be trustworthy and kind, but then the rest of the stuff is not like that, you know? It's just all your imagination that you have created inside your mind, you know? So another thing is that when I say about they bring their past into today, the current moment. And when they bring their past into the current moment, they try to make you out to be the savior of their past, and you can't do that. You know, all those things are in their thoughts. They have to figure those things out themselves. They can't project it onto you, you know, and they'll say like, oh, you know, you might say something to them that triggers some feeling inside of them, and automatically they start to tell you, oh, you know, I went through this, and because you said that, you have to learn to leave the past in the past. You know, you can learn from it, but you have to leave the past in the past. You cannot bring that past into a current relationship. It'll never work. You know, and the reason I can say this is because I literally lived this already, you know, with someone that I really truly cared about, you know, and I can never say I don't love someone, even if they're in my past, and I truly do love them because, again, I love human beings, you know. I'm not in love with a thought, you know. I don't do that. And people will say, oh, you don't reveal too much, you don't, you're too quiet, you don't answer questions. Some things just don't need to be answered. They do not require a response all the time. And most people on the opposite side are always looking for a response. and I think I've learned how to live my life in a more organic and natural way, where to not let things get to me, because if I let them get to me, again, it's because of my thoughts, not because of that person. But people like to push because they want an answer to solve their problems. And you have nothing to do with their problems. Again, we're always looking for answers. Most people are always looking for answers from someone else. And it doesn't work like that. They have to answer those questions or those, issues they have themselves. Some people just need to go to therapy, point blank. They need to see a therapist, man. It's wild. The human psyche it's a crazy thing. Believe it or not, the human psyche is really a crazy construct, man. So I gotta light myself again. We gotta interpret, analyze, and we miss what's real, Everything becomes hidden because of our projections, It's like trying to see a mountain through a cloud of our own making. We think we really know the person. I understand them completely. I know exactly what they're thinking, but they really don't. What they know is their image. I love this. I'm sorry. So someone can do something, one day, like I said, that doesn't go along with the image they constructed, and they get upset at you because of what's in their mind. So relationships can be really difficult. They get hurt. They'll say, oh, this is not the person I fell in love with. They cry. That person has changed. But have they? They just reveal the aspect of themselves that didn't fit your mental construction of them. The actual person is always changing, always flowing. We all change, So their image is frozen in time. It's like a snapshot of a river, and the river didn't move, but the river is always flowing. It's constantly going, and it doesn't stop. What it does, it just molds itself to the terrain that it's flowing through. So we don't stay fixed and predictable. It's happenings. It's like clouds moving across the sky. But we want people to be things. We want them to be reliable, consistent, matching their expectations. We want people to be their images. And when they're not their images, and when reality shows that this is not what's happening, they think is something terribly wrong, and nothing's happened. Life's just actually being life. People are just being people, man. The only problem is the collision with what the reality and the image they have created. You can't stop the ocean from making waves. You want it calm. The ocean will just continue to laugh and keep flowing. This is life. What? What's up? Where is my camera going? This is crazy. What's up? Hang on. There we go. I'm sorry. My bad, people. My bad. Like I said, this is my first time using my camera, so it kind of lost my image. so start looking somewhere else. Oh man. Why do we cling so desperately to these images? Why can't we just simply let them go when they don't match reality? The ego is a separate self. It feeds on it. It's built from these thoughts. You know. So if I'm intelligent, we image each other. You know, if I'm the strong one, maybe you're the person that needs strength, you know? Every image you made of a person is reflecting of themselves, you know? The ego creates images, you know, of like a dual person, you know? If you start seeing people without the ego, you know, so if there's no fixed image of you, there's no fixed image of me. You know, this might be a little deep for a lot of people because they don't study philosophy and human beings. You know, how they work, how they tick. The mind is incredible. So your egos need definition. It needs boundaries, solid reference points. You know, so it resists tooth and nail, so it can maintain its construction. And the construction causes suffering. They prevent real connections. It's better to suffer with an image than to actually face reality. You know, and that's the problem. A lot of people do not face reality. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos with, you know, dating coaches and relationship. And I honestly believe if they knew more philosophy, they can answer the questions better for the person that's going through this. This is why romantic relationships really don't last, because of the image that people create for the other person. Everything is impermanent in life. Everything. You know, relationships, people, you know, my relationships, I still have a bond with everyone I encountered because, again, I love human beings. I'm not in love with an idea, a thought that I made up about that person. I see people for who they are, a human being. And so I don't have those thoughts. And, you know, some of the women that I've come across who say, oh, you're kind of cold, like you don't love me. But I do love them. Again, what they created in their mind, I am not. I am the person that I am. And they want the person that they constructed in their minds. And it's not gonna happen. I see people for who they are. You know, I have someone in my life, you know, that sees me as I see them, the real person. You know, not someone they created in their mind. They know who I am, you know, as far as the real me. You know, because they don't have that image of someone that they constructed in their mind. So that's why relationships are so difficult, man. Really, really difficult. So I would recommend that if you're a person that's going through that, to think about it. It's your thoughts that hurt you, not the other person. It's the image that you created. You know, you created a perfect person in your thoughts. And then when reality strikes, you say, oh, this is not the person I meant. It is that person, but not the person you constructed. So that's what makes life interesting, I should say. Um, that's it's profound, man. It's profound. But this is life. I think that more than I think, I feel that we have an hourglass of life, right? And in the hourglass, you have the top, which is the past, and then you have the bottom, which is the future. And we're supposed to live in the in-between, because the in-between is the now. And you cannot go back, you can't go forward, because you cannot reverse what's behind you. And you can learn from it, and you don't know what's in front of you. So we have to live within the now. You understand? The present moment is what that really counts. So let's just say you're having a conversation with someone that you're in a relationship or you love, and they keep speaking about the future, and they're not thinking about right now, the present moment. You cannot predict the future. Again, it's those thoughts that what we want. But me, I'm always like, now. We're good now. Like, don't tell me about the future. Don't tell me about. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about this moment that we're spending. Are we gonna make this moment a good moment? Or are we gonna sit here and argue and waste precious time? Because that's what you end up doing. You're wasting time when you could be enjoying your moment. I'm enjoying my moment with my stogie right now. Something biting me. It's getting a little chilly out here. I don't know if you guys can hear the water, but it's pretty nice out here right now. A little cool, because we are in fall. But change your thoughts, change your life. You change your life. That's what I recommend. That's why I like Buddhism, because Buddhism is not a religion. It's about how to live your life. You take everything very lightly. You don't come into this world. You are of this world. You are a part of this world. And we have to know how to enjoy the time that we have here. Because this body, this vessel, as you get older, it gets weak, it starts to break down, and people, I think they fear death because they don't know what's going to be on the other side. It's not for us to know, because you don't know when you were born, and you definitely don't know when you're dead. So why worry about it? Just try and enjoy life at the moment. That's it. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, because I actually came out here just to test out my camera. And I figured I'd just make a short video on love. So write down in the comments what you think about that image that we create for each other. You only can blame yourself, right? Because they're your thoughts. Peace and love, your man X. Out!
My nigga.